Hi, I'm the Highway Groupie, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Innovo called the IP22, see it here, IP22 oximeter. And this is something that during COVID-19 I think all of us should have, is an oximeter. If you're feeling symptoms, fever, and having difficulty breathing, then something like this can be very handy. This is not intended to replace medical care. It is a fairly reliable unit. So we can see here it has a nice bright screen. You stick your finger in there and it gives you your oxygen rate and your pulse rate, as well as the percentage of accuracy. If this goes down, they explain in the instructions, if this goes down below 0.3, then you're not getting an accurate measure. So mine is showing, what is this, 8.2. So 8.2 is good, it's well within range in giving us an accurate measure. It also has these little waves, or you can put a little bar on the side here. If the waves or the bar are less than 30%, then you know that your measurement is not accurate. Let me just turn it around so that the camera can see it right side up, which is kind of a neat feature. You have 6 different modes that you can use. Here's one with the bar on the side showing the pulse. It needs to come up over 30%. Or you can have the waves at the top or at the bottom. So there's your waves. Again, the percent of oxygenation, your heart rate, and the percent of accuracy. That's not percent of accuracy, but anyway, it is an accuracy measure, I'll put it that way. Okay, so that's your screen. As you can see, the screen is very visible, very easy to read, and being able to choose the different modes is a real asset. So I prefer the little wave at the bottom here. Mostly aesthetics, I guess. Okay, so that's one of the things. It's very good that way. Now, if you want to change the settings, you hold the power button down for about 2 or 3 seconds, and you have different settings inside the unit. One is the alarm setup, again, so you just hold it down for 2 or 3 seconds and it goes into the alarm setup. And you can have the alarm go off at various readings. If the reading is below a certain point or above a certain point. There we are. Sorry, I'm not going through it, so I'm saying, where are you? And you can see the little arrow on the side. It tells you which setting you're changing. You just hold down the power button again for 3 seconds, and it changes that setting. So if we get to the exit here, I just hold that down, we're out of there. And then you have the, do you want the beep on? Now, if you're in a location where, for example, the nurse is working night shift, she doesn't want this thing beeping every time she puts it on somebody's finger. So she may shut that off. It comes off by default, so it doesn't disturb anybody. You have the alarm, what kind of beep do you want? The brightness of the screen. The brightness is set at 4 right now, and it's pretty bright for 4, so that's kind of neat. And you have the reset button, resets everything back to factory settings, and of course the exit. Now, those are a few things that I notice about this unit, which is, again, we see it here. Let's just talk about a couple of other things. One is this lanyard, which is very handy for those who are working in a hospital setting or somebody in an old age home, any place where there's healthcare going on. You can just put this around your neck. It's there. You take it off, put it on somebody's finger, and you're in business. The instructions are another thing I want to mention. They show you how to put the lanyard in, for one thing. But these are noteworthy. Why are they noteworthy? A lot of things that I bought, including these oximeters, they come with instructions that nobody can understand. Even if you were to run it through Google Translate and try to get it back to Chinese, which is probably where it came from in the first place, you still can't understand them. This is written in plain English. The unit is made in China, however it's distributed by a company in Texas, and they didn't just rely on something that came out of China to be their instruction manual. They did a really proper job. I could not find any real errors in this text. Not only that, it gives you all of the instructions, all of the cautions and everything, how to use this properly, how to use the settings in here, very clear instructions. They also give you all of the technical data on the unit. This has got to be the best instruction sheet I have ever seen on this kind of unit. And it's not very expensive. We're talking about a $20 or $30 unit. Very inexpensive. So I give them 10 out of 10 for their instruction sheets. I give for the unit itself, the look and feel of the unit is certainly a 10 out of 10. It is a little bit heavy, but that's to be expected because you do have a certain amount of circuitry in here. Plus you have the batteries. The only thing that I would give maybe a 7 out of 10 is the battery compartment. It is kind of hard to get open, especially if you have weak thumbnails. So that's the only real quibble I have with that. It does hold very well though, and it's not going to come off on its own. So that's, I mean, you have to have a trade-off there somewhere. The other quibble that I had, it comes in this neat box, very, very well padded. If you can see it here in the camera part of the video, we can see it's very well padded. This was really, really well protected when it got here. It has this little part that goes on the top to complete the protection. The only problem I had was getting it out, which is a small quibble for protection, I guess. It just didn't want to come out, but I was able to get it out. They put the batteries and the lanyard in here. So it's really well packed, really nice unit. It seems very reliable. I'm getting the same reading here that I get from my doctor's office. So if we do this again, and your reading is going to vary depending on how much breathing you're doing, how much talking you're doing. What you need to do is really keep quiet during the time that you're taking your reading and not move. That way you can get a true oxygen reading. So we can see with mine, sits 97, 96. I do get as low as 95, but then I'm old. So that's somewhat normal, I guess, for my age. My wife sits 97, 98, but the point is that the reading I'm getting here and the reading I get at the doctor's office, even if I take one right after the other, it's the same. So it shows itself to be well calibrated and a fairly reliable unit. Don't leave it on for more than about 10 minutes. Really all you need is a reading that takes about 30 seconds. And it is not intended to be a constant monitor, having the beep sounds and so on. No, this is simply just taking a quick temporary reading. So in all, I'm very pleased with this unit. I think it's well made, and I would give it overall a 9 out of 10. Hi. If you enjoyed what you saw in that video, then please click the subscribe button over here. Yeah, that one. Click the subscribe button, please. And whenever I put a video up, you will find out about it. Please.